next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a technique of how to reduce the thickness of horsehair, of horsehide. The horsehide is so thin that the traditional tools, splitting tools, are a little too much for that height. This is home style way of doing it.
Un bloque como si fuera de este tamaño de madera dura.
He has a block about the size of that small can of hardwood.
Que está puesta, por ejemplo, ahí, ¿no es cierto?
And it's affixed to his workbench.
Bueno, ahora no tenemos eso, entonces lo vamos a hacer directamente sobre esto.
We're going to work directly on the board. You're going to file a slit through that wood a little larger than the width of the strands that you're going to be working with.
Y que el ángulo, ¿no es cierto?, es de menor a mayor, o sea que el lado de afuera tiene más hueco que el de acá, ¿ok?
Yeah, the angle is going to be very shallow. The side from where you are pulling is going to be almost flat, and then the drop is going to be on the opposite
Ahora
side.
no
Okay, what he's trying to do over there is like a channel groove.
Right.
Hay que hacerlo en madera dura porque en madera blanda enseguida se gasta. En cambio, en madera
You want
dura
to
no.
do it. You want to use hardwood because the hardwood is going to last.
También se
If
puede
you use
usar,
a soft type wood, I mean, it's going to be inconsistent.
También se puede usar plástico, ¿no es cierto? ¿Cómo se llama?
Or you can
Teflón.
use Teflon.
Teflón. Bueno, yo ya acá saqué unos tientos.
So the deep side is supposed to be towards him, right?
Towards
Or
the opposite.
The other one.
Claro,
Away
la
from
parte,
him.
la parte
Okay.
más profunda del lado de afuera.
It would be preferable to use glass that is a little thinner, like a millimeter and a half in width.
Lo que vamos a hacer cuando tenemos el vidrio, un vidrio cualquiera así, lo cortamos y lo partimos y va a quedar así. Entonces y tocamos cuál es el lado que tiene filo.
Yeah. Once you cut the piece of glass, you check with your finger what size have a better edge.
Ahí está, en este digo acá. Pero ya les digo, si fuera fino, el vidrio sería recto. Como es muy grueso, a veces hace eso. Pero igual va a
Yeah.
servir
When you
para la
have a
demostración.
glass a thin piece of glass, when you cut them, it's going to be straight. With this one being a little bit too thick, it's going to be
En
regular.
este caso, por ejemplo, este tiento acá es fino y acá es el doble de grueso. Entonces lo que tenemos que hacer es igualarlo.
This strand is going to be about twice the thickness from one end compared to the other.
Porque se
On the
hace-
horsehide, you don't want to overdo the moisture.
Yo le pongo un poquito de saliva o un poquito
With
de
the-
roja y cream y nada
With
más.
a little bit of rawhide cream or a little bit of saliva, you will achieve the temper that you want.
Esto requiere práctica nomás, pero depende en qué lugar pongamos el vidrio,
All it takes is a little bit of practice.
va a sacar o no sacar. Entonces yo voy probando acá, por ejemplo, acá está sacando mucho.
Depending on where you position the glass, it's how much you're going to take out of that
Ahí estoy
piece of.
sacando, ¿ves? Y saco. ¿Ves? Estoy sacando el exceso.
Yeah, all you're doing is trying to trim the excess.
Este vidrio no anda. ¿Ok? Y vuelvo a hacer lo
Did the
mismo.
glass get dull that quickly?
¿Qué dice?
No, but
Sí, no, pero
you,
pero el vidrio no vale nada y yo siempre tengo la maquinita y estoy cortando.
yeah, you want to use glass that is a little thinner, so it's a little sharper on the edge.
Cobramos más o menos, ¿eh?
You want to position the piece of glass at approximately 45 degree angle. Este está mejor.
Sí, pero no está a 10 puntos. Bueno, y vamos sacando a la medida que necesitamos.
You're gonna remove and continue to remove as long as you need
Esto es
to.
la diferencia que tiene con la máquina, que la máquina lo haces en una sola vez. Esto hay que hacerlo varios.
With the tool, you do it probably in one pass. You remove as much as you need to. With this technique, you do it one pass, you check, you do it,
Gracias.
gauge it, and then continue to do it depending on how much, what's the thickness that you want to achieve.
Pero cuando lo prueben ellos con un vidrio más fino van a ver que va a ser
Once you try out the technique with a thin piece of glass, you're gonna get a good feel for it.
Kind of like probably best the glass that they use for those picture frames. which
Yep,
is only like-
yeah, that very thin one.
Y lo que voy haciendo yo es viniendo con el vidrio para acá para que es igual. Punta, media y punta y que quede igual.
Whenever he's gonna work some strands, he will have a significant number of them so he can prepare them all at the same time, and he will have a caliper ready. That way he can measure the two ends and the center. So that way he maintains consistent thickness throughout the strands. And then
Y
the
no
caliper
puede
is your friend,
tener una diferencia
both
mayor a
ends
10
and,
centésimas.
and the center.
10 centésimas de milímetro.
You want with it to be within 10
Pero 10 centésimas de milímetro no es nada.
0.10 millimeter. To visualize the concept, I mean, you can see what he's doing, but to actually apply the technique, you need the thinner glass. He's also done this technique or used this technique with cowhide. And though the cowhide is a little thicker, technique also works.
Would it be an idea to draw lines next to your groove so you can go like
I was thinking
got my
exactly
glass
that.
here, glass there.
I was thinking exactly that just a minute ago. Yeah. Once you got the idea, you can refine it however you want.
Now we're blood brothers because I was spitting on it before.
O sea, ahora son hermanos porque él estaba pasando la lengua también antes.
That's so romantic.
You are so touched.
No, este vidrio civil. Parió.
But the rawhide's good, huh?
Yeah.
Glass is not good, the rawhide is good.
Con un vidrio frío tendría que ser mucho más fácil.
The whole idea is that you're gonna go deeper on this side and then almost flat here. When you position the glass, you're gonna position the glass at an angle. But you wanna create that groove so your strand is gonna run through that
Y
groove.
esto que yo hice así rápido le conviene que cuanto más largo sea, mejor, ¿no?
The longer
Better.
it's, the better.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, the longer the better. That way you have more contact, more surface to contact the glass over there. You have more
And
control.
you need the hardwood because the rawhide is kind of abrasive anyway, and it eats it
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
He used a block somewhat similar to this of hardwood, and he has 5 or 6 different sizes that he got on it. So he
Igual
can
cada
go.
tanto, cada un año hay que volver a rectificarlo a eso y volver a hacerlas porque se va marcando.
Once a year you sand
Con
it
el vidrio
and
se va marcando.
do them again.
New notches.
Yeah,
Sí, pero es sencillo, es fácil.
yeah, it's a very simple process. But the element that we're missing here is a thin glass.
Exacto, eso lo
Because
sirve.
the glass needs to be about the half
Esto
the thickness.
justamente lo que no hay que usar.
No, that's what you don't want to use. You want to use the very thin glass,
Very thin, no, 1,5 milímetros.
1 millimeter, 1 millimeter and a half.
Ideal, porque uno le pasa la máquina así, rápida, y se parte fácil. Entonces al partirse fácil, el filo, o sea, es recto y queda el filo parejo.
Once you cut them with the tool, I mean, it's going to break and it's going to leave a nice sharp edge, and that's what you want to bevel the strands. So once you break that glass, it's going to maintain a sharp edge, and then it will make your job a lot easier. And remember, when you're using the file to create the groove, you want to go almost flat. The longer you go
Exacto,
here,
cuanto más
the
largo,
more
más medidas
room
tenés de cambiar.
you have to move that glass, and then the glass is not going to be changed. The angle of the glass is not going to
45
change.
grados, pero esto queda fijo.
It's going to remain over there.
Esto no se mueve.
The glass
Lo que mueve
also
vos
moves.
es el tiento.
The only thing that is moving is the strand that you're pulling.